Goodest morning to everybody paying attention. I hope my head look crooked. There you go. I hope my audio is copacetic. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna make it quick. Go over this Nash trade that I took earlier today. Computer. I need to reset my computer. So much shit on my computer that it runs so slow. I'll be getting a new computer here soon. Yeah, we're good. All right. All right. I think we're good. All right, peoples. So we'll make this quick. Still okay. So, like I said, if you're not already, feel free to join the Discord. Our community is growing. We're at about 40 students now. I'm going to be really pushing the Discord here within the next few weeks and months. With us reaching halfway through the year and ending this second quarter of the year here this month, we're starting to get back into a better flow of things with the strategy. As you can see, we're doing the same thing. I haven't been trading too much in the last few weeks, but we're getting back into it. We're getting back into the class and whatnot. I did revamp the solid strategy system layout. It's just with some better examples. These are the examples from the day before. I actually put those into the Discord's channel here for the workflow. The previous workflow page works just as good. I've just simply taken out this example as I felt it was a little cluttered in a way, and use a different example as well as including the auction model, which is consolidation, manipulation, distribution, which you also can see happens quite often within price. So we also have the morning flow. All of these are designed by me. The morning flow is more of just a mental checkpoint, getting you prepared for the day, keeping things in mind, and utilize that in combination with the workflow, new workflow page. I have the desktop version, I have the phone version for people on their phone on Discord, but everything is here. Helpful information. We also have the morning flow playlist, which is just cool playlists that I like to include, that I like to listen to in the morning with the workflow. So I include those with my teachings. But in the trading classroom here, yesterday I dropped that new addition to the solid strategy. But this morning, including my disclaimer, we put the strategy up, we put the morning flow up. We're aware of what news happens, as that is the first step in our strategy. And go over the steps so I can ensure you that I go step by step with my strategy, and we'll go step by step on the trade today and how I utilized this formula that I've developed over the last 3 years in our strategy, and for the win today for about $500, close to $600 profit on the day. So the first step is fundamental awareness, which is the news. So we go to Forex Factory. There are plenty of other sites you can get your news outlets from. Forex Factory is one that I like to utilize. And we saw at 7:30 we had 4 red folder news events coming out. So I usually, according to our rules, we like to wait till 8:45 to make any trades. This was actually an open trade, I believe. I took an 8 something. I'm going to show you why I took this trade, other than my wife also seeing the same setup because she's learning this shit as well. But we're going to go over it. I'm going to erase everything. First of all, we're going to go step by step with the workflow. So we're aware of the fundamentals, which is the news. Step number 1, we knew we had 4 red folder news events coming out at 7:30. which events before 8:30 can have an effect when they drop, but if it's before 8:30, you can expect a resurgence of those moves. So we knew once 7:30 hit, we had not so good dollar news. As you can see, this is the currency that's good for us here. Only really use USD news. You can also filter these things with what colored folders you want to see. I don't really want to see gray because that's really low impact. You can see what currencies you want to see for the news events. I only want to see USD because that's what affects NAS. 1 second. Yeah, so you can filter these out however you want. We knew we had that news at 7:30. We knew we had oil news at 9:30, which I also show you how price was affected by that event. But first step is news. We're aware of that. We do our top down, with showing zones of where price has been. As you can see, I use white lines for that. So we had these highs here, which we'll also use as take profit points if price were to continue to go up. We're like, okay, this would be my first take profit, or second. What it might be, might have us take profit here. And then these would just be points where you will be taking money off the table. So, and at 9 o'clock, we could have taken advantage of that because I had a news, but we're going to focus on 8-ish where we took our trade. So you can see in the Discord, we marked off our highs, we mark off our key levels, which are the smaller white lines here, which aren't extended. They're just half tones here. This is where price is currently sitting. I'll take off the fixed range profile. This is where price is currently sitting. I'm going to show you why I did that and did this and did that and did this. So we're aware of our fundamentals, which is news. And that came out at 7:30. Which is, let me go to the 30-minute time frame. So 7:30, that news hit, had a push up, but it really affected more towards the 8:30 when big volume comes into play. So with those markups, we got our tops and we got our values. You could have added it this way if you wanted to, making your support and resistances, if whatnot, or however you want to do it. I like to keep it a lot more simple these days. So we've done the first 3 steps. Step number 4, we use a fixed range volume profile to mark points of concern, value area high, value area low, and just identifies fair value versus expansion zones. Now, we have our, gosh, let me go ahead and quit the goddamn music thing. It's pissing me off. Sheesh. Anyway, we'll put on our fixed range volume profile tool, which is this tool here on the side. It is, if you put up your drawing panel, I believe it is here, fixed range volume profile tool. You'll turn on your sessions, which are these vertical dots going on, dotted lines going down. This is the New York session start. So we'll take our fixed range volume profile, we'll put it right on that line or in front of it. It might not always get right on top of it, but we'll put it in front of it, not behind it. Put it there, drag it to where we are currently, let it go, and it'll give us our value area, which is between this green line and this red line, right? We know price is between this white line and this white line. This is where price currently is. The value area is where most of the money and most of the time has been spent, right? So at 8:30, when we started to get into the value area and we saw an increase in volume, we go back to our execution rules. Are we above value, below value, or inside? Let's take a look. We're inside at 8:30. So if we have our first direction from value, we're inside. We might be looking to fill. Either we wait for a break of the top or the bottom, or we fill. So I'm seeing that not only are we possibly filling, but on our second reaction type, we either have a bounce or a rejection or acceptance. A rejection would be if price was below that value area low and we believed it was going to sell, but it did not continue. If it would have broke here, there would have been a much better confluence for sales. But it didn't break, which is where I had this mark for a bounce. And at 8:30, we did get that into the value area. We didn't get an acceptance. We got a rejection or a bounce. Right? So when it was within value, my idea is it's most likely going to fill it. So that's when we got in for our buys close to the POC or mid range of the value area and targeted the value area high. We didn't get an acceptance. We got a rejection or a bounce back into the value area. So we used our value area high as TP, even though we like to wait for 8:45, 9 o'clock. But with that, we knew and what also did we know before 9? We had news coming in at 9:30. We had news that affected price beforehand, so there's no reason to not take advantage. Also, another confluence, if we put on our fair value gap indicator, go back to the hour, we've got bearish fair value gaps. They were probably more before this 9 o'clock, but we had news at 9 that was very good for dollar, extremely good for dollar. So luckily we were out of our buys way before that. And but even then, 9 o'clock candle is one of my favorites. So if I would have seen that it broke and did not continue, which is where you saw that black arrow that I had earlier, we're still playing. We're pretty much still ranging because we're playing within these two value areas. This white line, this white line. We haven't broken. We've broken this upward, but we came back into value. Our buys were perfect with what was going on with current price action. We had perfect entries. We had perfect entries right at value area low. And price ended up tapping the value area high. Where's the update that I had? Here it is. Around this time, price was skyrocketing. So that was 925. Yeah, that was 925. And then that was right before I was out of my trade, but that was right before the news dropped, which was great for dollar, which drove NAS down a bit. Right at we were still climbing, but at that 930, we definitely dropped a bit. I believe it's here. Yep, 930. Good news. See, 9 we were still okay. 930 when the news dropped, we dropped. But that's why you want to be aware of the news. You want to be aware of these things. I believe I said we had critical news coming at 9. I believe I said that in the Discord. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah. But 930 news could be impactful, even though it's a yellow folder. This is what I said. 930 news could be impactful, even though it's a yellow folder. Yellow folders, even though they're low impact or moderate impact, you have yellow, orange, and red. I used to have my filters on where it was only red folders and I didn't care about anything else. But when you have big numbers like 3 million and numbers coming out where 7 million, you look at you look at everything, all your specs for this news event. Actual less than forecast is good for currency. Negative 7 million when it was supposed to be -3 is incredibly well. If the forecast was -3 and the more negative is better, when it comes out a better number, you know it's going to have a large impact. So I'm not surprised that at 930 it went down. If it was bad for dollar, we would have seen it go up. But we were out of our trade way before news was even affected. This is when you see people put in trades. They'll put a buy stop in right there, and then they'll get smacked, lose their entire account because they're unaware of the impact, or they're not even aware of the news at all. So it's important to be aware of that, and that's why we have it in the Discord, in the system, as the first fundamental. It only takes 1 second to look, oh, this news is coming out at this time. Okay, got that. Mark up your daily high and low. Where is price been? Where is it going? Where these are now my targets, key levels and zones. Oh, this is support. This is resistance. This is where price currently is. Volume area profile. Where is the most time and money been spent? Are we within it, or are we expanding from it? If we're expanding from it, I already have my daily and hourly lows and highs as my targets. If we get within it, I know that we're possibly filling it when our rule is the 70% value rule. If price is within value, there's a 70% chance it's going to fill. If not, we're aware of any news that's coming out. If we taking our time, we can just worry about the hourly 9 o'clock candle or 8 o'clock candle or 7 o'clock candle or just one of them. If we're later in the session, we can go to consolidation, manipulation, distribution. We can see where price has been, where it consolidated, where it manipulated, where it distributed. We can follow those things. We can get in on distribution. We can get on in manipulation if we want to. There's always something to take advantage of in these markets, as long as you have your markups and you're seeing things clearly. Once again, we're bouncing up from this area because news was good, but news can be lackluster. News can affect just the human nature of people and affect how they decide to execute. So you see, oh, it's very good dollar news. Everybody's gonna sell, and some people are gonna get caught up in those sales when price overall is bullish. It's currently ranging right now, but that is pretty much how I go about every single trading day, every single session. We go with our simple strategy every morning. There's no reason to defer from this system. So if you're not already, feel free to join the Discord. We're back. We're in there every single day, giving out the knowledge. Like I said, nice little 550 day. Started off with 3 students is in there getting to it. You know what I'm saying? Simple. We started at 8:17 this morning. It is currently 10:30. We're done for the day. We could have easily gotten on these sales here after news at 9 o'clock. I do love the 9 o'clock candle. So if I would have wanted to wait, could have saw that news coming, good news. Put a sell stop here, targeted the value area low, or these previous lows, got that second trade, been done for the day. So it's really that simple, guys. Keep it simple. Stop overcomplicating it. Stop using a million strategies. Stop trying to follow every single guru who's making money. If their strategy isn't proven, then what are you doing? But like I said, that's all I got for you today. But my name is Silis. This is Silis Trades. And I'll see y'all big head asses next time, man. Hope you're getting some knowledge up out of here. Take it easy. I got things to do.